Hello. Our story unfolds in the land of cards, where the Queen of Hearts has accused her dairy clerk of tactful sabotage and has demanded that he be relieved of his head. However, this is all based on a simple mistake in chance. Allow me to take you to the courtroom. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts one chilly winter's night. She took a bite, frowned and said they didn't taste quite right. The Queen declared, "Since rancid butter always tastes so vile, it is the dairy clerk that must be brought to stand accused at trial." However, the court did not agree that the clerk must be at fault, since the tart's bad taste could have come from flour, eggs, or salt. Many things could have caused the Queen of Hearts her woes, and because of that, the dairy clerk was finally free to go. Now, the Queen reflects on the court's decision, which stated that even though bad butter leads to bad tarts, the presence of bad tarts does not mean bad butter. And so she realizes that in order to obtain justice for her tarts, she will need to try a different approach. And so a decree was sent to all the land for a statistician, one that could aid her in her fervent pursuit of truth. Now, I happen to be a statistician and encounter problems like this relatively frequently, where we want to understand something about the world, but only have limited and imperfect data to go off. Now, one approach to tackling this is to make a guess, using the information that we do have, and this initial guess is called a prior. However, as the Queen found out, these are often not very good. And so, but the important part is that we do not stop there. We need more information. And with each new piece of information, we update our beliefs to reflect it. The more powerful the information is, the more our beliefs change. And in the case of the Queen and her tarts, more information does become available. It transpires that the Knave of Hearts, who has a history of tart-related trickery, was noted to be skulking around the grounds with an unusually large bag. With this new piece of information, we can update our position regarding the Queen's terrible tarts. Or say we find out further that a delivery man unknown to the guards brought an unscheduled delivery of eggs the morning of the tart incident. Well, we can update our beliefs again to reflect the eggs of dubious origins. And as we get more and more and more information, a clearer picture emerges where we can get a better understanding of the truth. Now, this way of working, where we make an initial guess and then update it using data, is called Bayesian inference, and it is a really powerful way for statisticians to find things out about the world. So, the next time you're feeling really heated, pause and call your inner statistician to consider the plausibility of your prior.
Thank you very much. That was amazing. I love Alice in Wonderland. Well, let's go to our judges now. Please share your comments and questions with us.
I really enjoyed that. I'm lost for a question, I'm afraid, so I will pass on. Thank you very much.
I'm exactly the same. That I was so enamoured by that I couldn't formulate words to think of questions. I'm not lost for words. I thought it was actually amazing, though. I think the theme, the storytelling, the outfit, it's like proper Alice in Wonderland. It's fantastic. But I wonder, how I was really thinking of that idea of people kind of being locked into one truth and not accepting data from around them. And how do we use kind of your understanding of stats to fight misinformation, where people have really selected one idea and don't take anything else in?
Yes, so statistical literacy is something that is simultaneously really exciting in terms of taking the public along, but also really terrifying, because I heard a quote, can't remember who said it, but if tortured enough, data will confess. And so I think sort of these sort of playful ideas where people are like, oh, well, obviously bad tarts does not mean bad butter, because many things could have caused it. Taking people along with those examples where they can say, oh, obviously not, and then taking them further to confront their own biases and preconceived ideas might sort of help in terms of getting people to this idea of being able to take in new data to update their beliefs. But this is also a good psychological question,
yeah.
So for our researchers.
It's a fantastic answer too. Thank you.
Great. Can you ever have too much data?
Yes. Well, Yes and no. So it depends on your protocol for dealing with it. So you can overfit to data, so you can create this situation where your your guess is very good at guessing your data, but not good at generalizing to new data. So that is a thing that can happen. But in terms of creating this example or this picture of the truth, more data is, generally speaking, a very good thing.
Great presentation. What if there is no more information?
So I'm a statistical ocean scientist. That is the problem that I work with, where getting ocean data is hard. So there are ways to get around it. Sort of milking your data for all that it's got is one way. Another way, if it's possible to go and get more data, also great. But then we can also model. So using what we think is probably going to be happening. So say I know the ocean behaves in a certain way because it follows some physical equations. I can use that as additional information if I don't have extra data.
I guess to the kind of people who believe that there's lies, damn lies, and statistics, which is the saying, the idea that you can change statistics with new data might be proof that that is true. So that's going back to the psychology. How do you deal with that?
Sorry, I didn't quite understand that.
There is a saying that there's lies, damn lies, and statistics, saying that you can make statistics do anything, like you said.
Yes. So I think, making sure that we're teaching statistical literacy to people, making them aware that actually it's quite easy to lie with statistics, but arming them with a sort of defense against it. So teaching people.
Thank you very much.